Unhealed pain hurts others, and you're the last to know. I always thought I was pretty good at relationships. I figured the past was in the past, a closed book I'd never have to open again. I showed up, I was present, I was supportive. At least, that's what I told myself. So when my partner, after months of this quiet, growing distance that I just couldn't put my finger on, finally said the words that cracked everything open, I was totally lost. They said, "It feels like there's a wall of glass between us. I can see you, you're right there, but I can't feel you. It's like you're a million miles away." I was there, wasn't I? I was trying so hard. What I didn't get was that a part of me was still trapped somewhere I thought I'd long escaped. And that trapped part was acting like a poison, slowly seeping into every single connection I had, and I was the last person to see it. Section 1, the invisible wall. Does any of that sound familiar? Maybe for you, it's not a romantic partner. Maybe it's that string of friendships that just seem to fizzle out for no good reason. Or that feeling of being completely misunderstood by your family, no matter how old you get. You're physically there, but you feel this weird detachment, like you're watching your own life through a foggy window. This is the strange reality for so many of us carrying around unhealed pain. On the surface, everything looks fine. You go to work, you see your friends, you build a life. You've convinced yourself that what happened back then stays back then. But your nervous system is like a loyal but traumatized bodyguard. It remembers every threat and it keeps the score. And that score is playing out in all of your relationships. You might find yourself thinking your partner is just too sensitive, or your friends are too demanding. You hear a totally neutral comment like, "Hey, did you get a chance to call the bank?" And your brain somehow hears an accusation. It's like your past is wearing a pair of dark sunglasses that it forces you to look through, making even the brightest moments seem threatening. You're constantly on guard, even when you're in the safest of spaces. You might not even realize you're doing it, but the people around you feel it. They feel the defensiveness, the emotional shutdown. They feel like they're walking on eggshells, and they have no idea why. They just know it's hard to get close to you. Section 2, the inciting incident. For me, the real crack in the armor came during a fight. A tiny disagreement over plans spiraled into something massive and ugly. In the heat of the moment, my partner said something that just stopped me cold. "I can't do this anymore. It feels like you're fighting a ghost from your past, not me. And I can't win against a ghost." In that 1 second, the entire invisible blueprint of my life lit up. It was like a lightning strike illuminating a hidden map. It wasn't about them being too sensitive. It wasn't about my friends being flaky. It was about the ghost, the unhealed part of me that was secretly in the director's chair, running the whole show and sabotaging the very connections I wanted so badly. This is such a common turning point. That moment where the pattern becomes so obvious, so painful, you just can't ignore it anymore. It's the devastating realization that you are the common denominator in a whole series of broken connections. It feels awful, but it's also the very beginning of your freedom. Section 3, the revelation, connecting the dots. So why does this happen? How can something from way back when have such a powerful grip on your life right now? Well, when trauma goes unresolved, it doesn't just vanish. It's like a piece of faulty code from an old program that keeps running in the background of your mind, causing all your new apps to crash. These old survival programs are now causing serious damage in your adult life. Let's talk about 3 sneaky ways your unhealed pain is sabotaging your connections. First, there's the misinformation filter. Trauma rewires your brain to be on high alert. It's like your internal fire alarm system is broken. It's so sensitive that it goes off every time you make toast. The danger isn't real, but the ear-splitting reaction is. This means you misinterpret neutral situations as threatening. Your boss offers constructive feedback, and you hear you're a failure. Your partner needs a night to themselves, and your alarm screams abandonment. You react to this false alarm with anger or by shutting down, leaving the other person confused and hurt by a fire they can't even see. Second is the push-pull dynamic. This one is brutal. You desperately want closeness, but you're also terrified of being vulnerable. It's like dying of thirst in a desert, and every time someone offers you a glass of water, you smash it out of their hand, terrified it might be poisoned. The thirst for connection is real, but the fear of vulnerability is bigger. So you pull someone in, then push them away. You create a self-fulfilling prophecy. You end up alone, which just proves that original fear that everyone will leave you. You create the very abandonment you're so afraid of. Third is the unconscious replay. Your mind is drawn to what's familiar, even if it's painful. Think of it like a record with a deep scratch. No matter what, the needle always gets stuck in that same groove, replaying the same painful part of the song. If you grew up in chaos, a stable relationship can feel unfamiliar and unsafe. So you might unconsciously seek out partners who are emotionally unavailable or critical, because that dynamic feels like home. You aren't choosing to be hurt. You're unconsciously trying to fix the scratched record by playing it again, hoping this time it'll finally play through. But all it does is deepen the groove. Section 4, Beyond Romantic Relationships. And this ghost doesn't just mess with our romantic lives. It shows up everywhere, like an emotional virus. We don't mean to, but we can transmit our pain to others if we don't heal it first. In our families, it's like being an actor who has been typecast. The moment you walk onto the set of a family gathering, you forget all the other roles you've learned in life and slip right back into your childhood script. In our friendships, it creates a fear of real intimacy. It's like you only let people into the pristine, formal entryway of your house. You keep them from the messy, comfortable living room where real life happens because the risk of them seeing the real you feels too high. Even at work, unhealed trauma can poison your relationships. It can make you view every boss as a critical parent. It can make you avoid teamwork because flying solo just feels safer. You might work yourself to the bone trying to fill a bucket of self-worth that has a hole in the bottom. No matter how much success you pour into it, that old feeling of not being good enough makes it leak right out. Section 5, The Turning Point, The Path to Healing. The moment I realized I was fighting a ghost, something shifted. It wasn't my partner's fault. It wasn't my friend's fault. The pain was mine. The responsibility was mine. And that meant the power to change was mine too. Healing isn't about blaming yourself. You didn't choose your trauma. You developed these patterns to survive. Think of them like a suit of armor you needed for a battle long ago. So the first step is awareness. It's like turning on the lights in a dark room. You can't stop tripping over the furniture until you can see where it is. The path forward usually involves a few key things. First, developing self-compassion. Instead of hating the armor for being so heavy, you learn to appreciate it for having protected you when you were younger. Second, building healthy boundaries. Think of boundaries as a fence around your property. A good fence doesn't mean you're unfriendly. It just clearly marks what's yours to take care of and what isn't. It keeps you from feeling responsible for your neighbor's yard and protects your own garden. And third, getting support. For many of us, this means finding a good trauma-informed therapist. A therapist gives you a safe space to finally process those old wounds. It's about teaching your nervous system, that hyper-alert bodyguard, that you are safe now, even if you weren't back then. I wish I could tell you that after that one big realization, everything was magically fixed. It wasn't. It was the beginning of a long and often really hard journey. A journey of learning to sit with uncomfortable feelings, of communicating my fears instead of just acting on them, of learning to trust that safety can exist right here in the present. It's a journey of slowly taking down that invisible wall, brick by brick. And what's on the other side? Deeper connection, more authentic relationships, and a sense of peace that doesn't rely on trying to control everything and everyone around you. If this story, if any part of this, hit home for you, please know you are not alone and you are not broken. It takes incredible courage to even consider that our own pain might be hurting others. That awareness is the first giant leap toward healing. So I invite you to do one small thing. In the comments below, share one thing you recognized in your own life from this. There's no judgment here, Let's make this a space for understanding, a place to see that none of us are alone in this. And if you're ready to keep going on this journey, make sure to subscribe, because healing isn't about burning the history books of your past. It's about becoming the narrator, so you can finally write your own future. The first step isn't healing everything at once. It's simply daring to look. Every day is a bonus. Charles Odia.